There's a whole bunch of things that working out actually helps out with, or at least it's helped me out with, right?
Right.
So one thing that I've touched on was like mental strengthening. It allows you to set goals, and then you move forward and try to like train yourself to think, okay, I've set this goal, I want to hit it. And you translate that into any environment, whether you're at school because you're always hitting, "Oh, I want to get 80% on my test. Okay, well, how are you gonna do that?
Right.
When you're at work, okay, I want to finish this by 5 p.m. today. Well, how are you gonna do that? Right? So
set goals. That's you got to start with a goal,
exactly.
right?
So working out is kind of the same thing. You set goals for yourself. Okay, you know what? Summer's around the corner. What is it? April. So you got 2 months.
To get a beach bod.
Exactly. So I want a beach bod. How are you gonna do that?
Right.
In 2 months.
Right.
You set yourself goals. You set yourself timelines and things like that. Right. Another thing that it actually helped me with is stress. So I would say I'm kind of like an angry person.
Right.
And
you rage easily.
Yeah.
Behind the wheel.
Exactly. Well, not behind the wheel, but like a lot of things just spark me, and I can get in a really foul mood really easily. And what I found is working out at the gym helps me de-stress a little bit.
Mellows you out.
Exactly. So I channel all of that anger into pushing harder, lifting heavier.
Right.
And then by the end of it, I'm so exhausted, you don't even remember about like why you were so pissed.
You become mellow.
Exactly.
Like, chill. It's like, yeah.
Exactly. And sometimes when I was stressed about, school or work or whatever, it just takes my mind off of that, and it just lets me, work on myself and not have to worry about the chaotic stuff that's happening outside.
Right.
And I don't know if a lot of people feel the same way, but just give it a try. If you're really, really stressed one day, or you're like you got into a heated argument with a family member or a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever,
or boss,
or even your boss.
Right.
If you just hit the gym and whatever it is that you were doing before, just like double the weight, you'll feel so exhausted afterwards. You're gonna be like, why was I so pissed?
Right.
And you'll feel like, oh, that's actually not like something will click in your mind where it's like, oh, that's not actually that big of a deal.
Right.
And then from there, you actually say, okay, I hit this problem. What can I do to fix it? And then your goal settings actually start to come back into play, and you'll be like, okay, so my boss wasn't happy with my performance. So is it something that I did wrong? Is it something that I can improve on? And you start to think of ways, rather than thinking that you're right all the time, you start to try to think of ways to improve your situation, right? So that's what I felt really helped me out with. And when younger people talk to me about this, or when based on the question that you've asked me, like why should people spend so much time, it's an alleyway for people to vent. Well, it was for me anyways, to vent some of their emotions, and then helps them get back on track with whatever it is that they're struggling with in life.
Right.
And it's been really, really effective for me. So yeah, that's one of the biggest recommendations. And since anything that not anything that you learn at the gym is applicable to all environments, but there's a lot of self-improvement that builds you as a person, your character at the gym, like things like determination, things like your passion for something. These things start to build up over time, and you don't notice it at the gym, right? Because again, physically, all you see is your big muscles coming out. But over time, like goal setting, you'll get better at it. The fact that you want to accomplish something at a very short amount of time, you translate that into any environment, whether you're a student, whether you're working, and it just becomes a habit.
Right.
And sooner or later, you'll notice that, like I've become more productive at work.
Right.
Or I'm really good at doing something.
Right.
And it just all kind of folds together.
Right. So it's kind of like a snowball analogy, right? You get the first, like the snowball can be this big, right?
Yeah.
You hit the gym once, you roll the snowball rolls a little bit, and then over time it's like, oh wait, I'm actually getting results in the gym, and this determination, this type of habit setting, this type of focus is doing me well.
Yeah.
And then that kind of translates to like your attitude at work or your attitude in like, your other stuff, like extracurriculars or with your family or with, just different tasks in life. And it just like goes across the board. And all you need is that very first snowball to roll.
And I think one thing that is very apparent is self-confidence. When you look good, you act a different way. Like the better part of you comes out.
Right, your chest goes up, right?
Chest up. I mean, like besides the chest coming out, right?
Yo. Okay, I wanna talk about this story because I want you to tell the story to everyone, right?
Sure.
So we're talking about puffing your chest up and confidence. And remember that time I asked you about you in Hong Kong and anyone giving you trouble?
Yeah.
So tell us that story. That's an awesome story. Like, this is just the epitome of the ability to just puff your chest up and get your way.
Yeah. So, Hong Kong has a lot of people, and you're bound to hit someone, or someone's like gonna hit you, and
just like bump shoulders kind of thing, right?
Exactly. So, because my back was a little bit weaker before, and I had a stronger chest. So, I was just walking, and a group of people walked past me, and one of the guys actually hit my shoulder, right? So, I just kept walking, and he turned around, and he was like, "Yo, what the hell, man? You hit me, right?"
Right.
So, basically, I turned around, and I don't know, like, it was just second nature to me. I just, like, I pushed out my chest to have good form, and I said, "What's up?" And
were you wearing a stringer at the time? Or?
I was wearing a tank top.
Tank top, right? So
I was wearing a tank top.
So you were like, it was obvious that chest was like bulging out.
Right? And then basically he was like, he didn't say sorry, but he basically said, just because you're big, you don't run the streets, right? Because he thought that I hit him. So in Chinese he was like, 大隻大晒咩咁樣, right? So and then basically I turned around and said, you weren't looking at where you're going. It's just one of me. I'm walking on my side, and you guys have a whole bunch of people. And then basically that just kind of shut him up. And it's the self-confidence to know that you weren't in the wrong, and be able to face people, and tell them like, hey, you know what? You have a bunch of people. You guys can consolidate and walk off to the side. I'm just here on my own lane, doing my own thing.
Stay in your lane.
Exactly. I didn't cause no troubles or anything like that. And I guess this guy was just trying to pick a fight. And, I wasn't about to step down or let him step all over me. And it was just that self-confidence, that spark that just said, like, I'm not going to take that from you. And don't get me wrong. I'm not, like, going out onto the street trying to pick fights with people and, like, push my chest out, right? It just happened that this guy...
he wanted to start something.
Yeah, he wanted to start something, and I wasn't gonna fold to that.
Right. Yeah, and like physiologically speaking, it's like working out causes you to have a lot more serotonin in your system.
Yeah.
And the serotonin is it's what makes you puff your chest up, right? When you see Russell Westbrook dunk all over people, right? And he's just doing this thing, this beast mode thing. That's serotonin screaming, right? So just having more serotonin helps you draw the boundaries. Makes you more confident in standing up for yourself, right? And this type of stuff, like you said, self-confidence translates across the board to like a lot of other things. Yeah,
I mean, like, it's not even about just how you look at that moment.
Right.
It's you turn around and you feel like not accomplishment, but you feel proud of yourself for being able to step up for yourself at a crucial time like that, right?
Right.
And that kind of comes across. Like for students, when I remember like when I used to do presentations, right? If the judge panel asked me a question that I wasn't sure, I'd either try to deflect it or I would try to, not answer it in a way that would help me lose marks.
Right.
But now, based on like how I stand and the form, if you've got a very nice posture, even if you talk about absolutely nonsense, right?
Right.
If you look confident, the judge will buy into it.
Right, that's half of the battle already.
Exactly.
Right.
That's for anything. Like if you're at a job interview, if you're just trying to chase a girl or whatever it is, if you are confident in yourself, people love that.
Right.